Lesson 233. Abiding in God's perfect love. The Lord is one, God who is the maker of the whole universe, who through his love made us and loved us unconditionally. The true nature of love originated from him, and with this perfect love drives away fear. With love there is no treachery, mockery, or any kind of evil thoughts, for he intends to provide this goodness to all who freely receive it. It is when you adapt to this love it becomes easy to give yourself freely to the world and seek ways to make a difference to others. If you have this love, you will have good intentions to others and to yourself. Forgiving and caring for others becomes part of your living because his love will draw you towards righteousness. The test of this love is proven over time, not only when you have, but most importantly when you don't have. It can be easy to get along with God when he simply shows himself up to you and give you what you need, whenever you need it. But the truth is, even in those moments, because of your free will, you can easily become complacent and take things for granted. The proof of God's love is given to us every single day, because no matter how much things becomes tough for you along your way, there is always going to be a way out. It is not that God has never revealed himself to the world before, but people have their own way to disappoint their Creator. Even though the Israelites were given all the privileges experiencing God throughout their lives, they always found a way to seek their own glory. When they required to wait for God, they disregarded and followed their own gods. When they required to trust in him in times of need, they chose to complain and murmur along the way. In every challenging moment, they chose to come up with a sinful action on their journey and ultimately doomed in the desert without seeing the promised land. But how much do you really love the Lord your God? For Peter, the disciple of Jesus, was asked that question 3 times before he really got it in his head. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" He replied, "My Lord, you know that I do." And Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." The weight of your love for God will be proven by the distance you are willing to go to be part of the relationship with him. In a community setting, for example, the only thing that will fuel a healthy relationship of 2 couples, it is when there is good communication between them, listening to each other, spending time with them, and finding ways to be happy. It is always fatal when one thinks more of himself and forgets their partner. That relationship will not stand. And finally, you come to the conclusion that it was never meant to be, thinking the other person was in fault without looking at yourself. When you distance yourself from God, God distances himself from you because there is absence of things that keep you bonded together. What will be left is the voices in your head justifying to you that you are better without God. I myself struggle with this sometimes because at times when I forget to read my Bible for a few days, my life seems too difficult to handle, thinking that maybe I am not doing something right. I keep on struggling and try to solve problems in my own point of view, which makes things even more confusing and more exhausting. But the minute I come back to my Creator and read the Word of God, my mind becomes at ease and everything becomes clearer for me. All the worries seem to fade away, and a strong conviction and confidence builds inside of me. The Word of God is one of the most important ways that God speaks to you and instructs you the way to go. It goes beyond the words written, for the Spirit of God teaches us and instructs you what to do through his Word. The other thing to remember is that when you hit a place where you don't have answers to the circumstance you face, speak to God about it. Never think that you have all you need to manage a situation, because this allows pride to take over you. But when you lay it down to God, you can have the peace you need, knowing that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Remember, whatever you do, all will be for the glory of God. Because in this world you came with nothing, and you will leave with nothing. You are here but passing by. Your permanent residence is in heaven. Therefore, when you live for God, and in this way, he will always make your paths straight.